what they have as a common ground, and it's kind of their core. It's FaZe and Modi when they were on SK, how they played Mirage. They're one of my favorite teams to watch, but Dignitas also very good on it as of recent.
All right, let's find out who wants to start CT side,
Magic
I guess.
already lost the 1v1 poll. That's not a good sign.
No.
And that Delta split can't work now. They
haven't got enough.
Wrong map.
Yeah, they're undermanned. That only works when you have the man advantage. And now Rubino is in a tough situation.
Yeah,
He has the decoy though.
Yeah,
he has the decoy.
He does, but he's in a V split now.
The problem he has is the bomb is on the A bomb side, and but there's still an hour left.
Oh,
for him
come
to
on,
pick
guys!
up.
Stop running! Please stop running away and get on with it.
This is so frustrating though when you have this in FaZe, like people just not wanting to knife.
And then the guy wins.
And then the guy wins, of course, because you're impatient.
Here we go. Rubino
He's got
wins.
it. He's oh.
Talking a big game either. Speaking of big games, though, we will get a little bit serious. It's the end of the night. We got to have a little fun to very good map between the two of them, I have to say. And it's going to be a defuse kit on Snappy along with the smoke. Everyone else on his team with armor. But we've got smokes on the T side and already an indication that it's going to be an execution onto the A site, which means Glaive's under pressure. He can't find the headshot. He's got a smoke that lands behind him at the top of connector. And that means they're going to push them back into it. So they've actually pushed the TTs into a smoke they designed so that way they don't need walls of smoke. They just need map control, and they're getting it. They're getting it aggressively, but Freeze, he'll get a shot back into config. And that's Cajun B, again, who's going to go on the hunt, and he gets a kill for it. He's got Glaive in the window. He's been playing very well this series, Cajun, and he's going to bait them in a little bit further. Modi checks. They know he hasn't left jungle. Rubino's got Modi down, though. I think he just switched to burst fire by accident there at the end, but either way, it's going to be Freeze. 1 versus 2, bomb ticking furiously. He's got a kit, taps it, knows Rubino's toward. Hey, ramp, it doesn't know Magic's boys out toward catwalk.
Lovely round there from Dignitas. Quite simple. We normally see the standard smokes from the 1-0 up. There will be a force buy from the CTs going into round number 2. Modi going aggressive though in towards Palace. Rubino holding quite a common angle here, just waiting. Oh, this could work out. Oh, okay, I was going to say for Modi that could actually work in his favor, but Rubino adjusts, takes him down, and at this point the terrorists don't really need to commit. Glaive, he wants to give the CTs a second bite of the cherry here as he goes back into the Palace himself.
Freeze takes out the vents, probably Snappy. Tries to distract potentially for whatever reason, but it's over toward B. Glaive's can actually push and find Rubino, so they're still fanning it across the map. They won't pull a flip side and walk into a stack. They'll try and evaluate exactly what's going on with this CT side that remains with 4 in action as Freeze has a P250. Snappy's actually just going to rotate back and watch off to this catwalk position as well, but a very timed and disciplined round from Dignitas. They've pushed back the player inside of Palace as well. That's Glaive that's gone to CT, and with 2 players getting ready to jump out from there, bomb slowly heading on to that position, the A side of the map as well.
This used to be a very hit-and-miss map for Dignitas. When they didn't have the AWP role established, it was MSL who was trying to do it, and then before we had Pimp as well. And the days of Nico seem so long ago now. He was allowing them to at least have an AWP on this map, but since the addition of Cajun B, you'd expect them to be much stronger, and it has shown they are improving on this map, and it's going to be them making their way towards the CT spawn area. They're taking down Glaive. The round is pretty much over at this point. The CTs with the body armor trying to work out what options are available here, but a config shutting them down and taking the possibilities away. Okay, nice shot.
The CZ75 just sounds like someone spitting at you now, but man, just
not proven to be the brawl we saw in the French derby at all, but still, it's a much different game of CS being played, and one I still enjoy to watch. I love seeing the teams, the way they dissect maps and actually use their utility to gain them map control instead of just barging their way in there. It's going to be config though with the UMP. Unarmored players for now, not a single thing purchased by the CTs. So this is a pretty simple procedure for the SMGs to pick up some more cash here. So it's them who are trying to focus on getting those extra injections of money.
Volda just jumping over apartments, pretty straightforward. It doesn't really need announcement, to be fair. Everyone knows you've got to get the information somehow. Configs is going to push back Snappy here as they start to walk up. He's just barely going to use that jump mechanic to get around the corner on catwalk. Smoke will land in window. We've seen an odd number of misses on that throw throughout the weekend. From box as well, not from T-spawn, which is the harder one. Config in. UMP, as you said, no armor. It's going to take Snappy down. They wrap toward bench, and Glaive, low HP on Config. Let's at least catch 1 kill back for the CTs. 2 players remaining, both inside the checker room. Missed thrown Molotov, but just going to be careful because he's going to get caught in the flames of his teammate, which actually helps Freeze. He'll go down to MSL in the end, and with the 2 AKs still in hand. They should be able to.
Towards CD spawn though, and seeing whether he can get the first pick. It's going to be a default from Dignitas to kick things off. You can see Modi, he opted to get more grenades here with the famous smoke grenades, 2 flashbacks. Not a single kit purchase though, Matt. That could be a massive factor here. Dignitas known for their executions on this one. See whether they can get a plant down and get themselves in a fantastic position going forward. They've kept a UMP as well. And you see them setting up right now as Config smokes in. Taking control of middle completely here.
Counter push from Catwalk right now, though. There's a chance that Snappy's just going to time this. If they can contain them in middle, they might have position inside of it, but if they can't get someone inside of the ladder room or connector, then there's a chance that they can counter peek this. The problem is Snappy's staying so passive that they have now got that ladder room, which means window is gone, which means Glaive's got to rotate back, and that opens connector. So you can see how much ladder room really changes things for the CTs. However,
exchange, yeah. Glaive gets the advantage here. And around they're up against the ropes. He goes under 15 HP, but Dignitas still have a lot of room to work with here. You can see Rubino, he's towards the end of Palace, and they have got control of connector as well. Bomb homing in. Looks like it will be an A-sided attack as Modi makes a footstep there. Rubino would have heard that. You can see him starting to move off the side of it, but occasion beat flashes towards short, and this will be an A-sided attack as they Molotov towards short to give them some room to breathe.
Freeze just desperately wants someone to walk into that crosshair placement on the A site, but it's Modi that's going to not hear a player come down on top of him. I was sure he would have heard Rubino with the 2 steps before he fires on that ladder, but he gets the kill. Cajun's going to follow it up, and they get the safe plant. Glaive, he does have the spray down, but not the kill. It's fired back in return, and Rubino is going to save the bomb planter. MSL on 2 HP, who manages to get all the way out toward connector. Cajun's been spotted, but Volda, it's 24 HP for Cajun. Sure, it's a double peek, and doesn't even matter. Cajun's got a lovely shot from the AK to make it 3-0.
Nice little team kill there for no reason. Interesting. Must have been very low HP. We didn't see it from our side, but still, it is a clean round for Dignitas there. Heroic, after getting the first pick, you could see them struggling. Like I said, once a bomb was planted as well, not a single kill on the Heroic side. There always were going to struggle slightly in that situation. Dignitas going for the mid control. That Molotov towards short was key as well. I mean, CTs can't face at all, regardless if you've got an AWP or an M4. You can't stop them going in that connector area. 3 of them barge onto the side. It was just too much for the CTs to hold off as well. That Shadow player getting shut down by Rubino as he came out of Palace. Very well coordinated, and it's going to be Config kicking things off in round number 5. Should be a 5-0 here after you lose the initial gun round. For the CT side, it's very common to go full eco on number 5 here. So pushing in for some bit of info. I think I saw a player towards the B apartments of the CTs. That actually is going to be Vald.
Freeze just checking out what's going on inside of middle. MSL, he'll go back up and, much to his delight, have less troubles sometimes toward that B apartment because Magisk Boy's already found the kill on Tamati. Rubino waits for any aggression at Palace, and Dignitas just finding kills left, right, and center. Aplenty. They're going to be up to 5 rounds on the T side of Mirage already. That seems like a lot to start off when you really consider that it is Mirage, but at the same time it is pistol and first gun, and we know how much that can do for anyone, and it can be equaled by Heroic when they get to that side. But let's focus where we are now, and where we are now is Snappy in a 1 versus 5 with 100 HP on all 5.
Not bad.
I think he's got it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Here we go. That's the start we needed. He gets the kill, but doesn't receive the weapon, but he doesn't even want it at this point. Apparently not, as Config does take him down. It's going to be a 5-0. What a fantastic start here. The 3rd and final map of this best of 3 to qualify for the semi-finals. NIP have already done it today. So is G2.
Yep. So is Cloud9.
So is Cloud9. And now,
I know Moses is very delighted about that. He's made a point of telling us multiple times.
he has. It's nice of him, isn't it?
It is nice.
Double orb setup here for the CTs. Change of pace from what we saw in the first gun round, but they were up against the ropes for sure. They didn't actually have much to work with in that one. So this time they have got the kits, the grenades, Snappy and Freeze on the AWPs. We'll see whether they're going aggressive, trying to hunt for a pick here. So you're going to be Val towards the B apartment. Snappy aggressive on short with that AWP, and Freeze is in the connector. So this is a much different setup to what we saw in the first gun round. Glaive needs to find some formulas. He has got confrontation towards connector. Gets a headshot in though.
And MSL, he's going to try and push them back in toward that jungle with the spray, but he needs to be careful in this because they don't have a read on catwalk. You can see him swinging back and forth again as he wants to get the information. It's Config, though, that might get... Whoa! I thought Glaive was going to get impatient when he started running directly into that, but it's Vent. Fool me. I'll admit it, I bought, but Either way, Config's made it in toward the window on the back of that, and now we can start to divide up these CTs. Freeze, he'll be the first one spotted. Scopes in, nearly reacts in time. A very fast shot indeed, and that one's successful. He's got MSL down. Config left in the open. Freeze, he's around the corner. He fires toward Palace. That nearly leaves him vulnerable to Magisk Boy, but it's Madi instead that'll find Rubino. And he's done a fantastic job, Freeze, of just staying alive. He will eventually go down, but it's the man advantage for his side. As bomb planted by Cajun Beat. You can see the communication between the two. He wants Magisk to just sit, wait, and cover connector because he's going to try and back out using the box as coverage toward a ramp. He's actually smart about this. He knows he can't get there without full exposure towards CT, so he'll stay sandwich. And they've still got to commit to the site to find him. Good boost up, good jump up, and they find both kills immediately. That's going to be reset potential, though, with only 3 players. Well, I say only. It's a majority of players surviving, so they got 2 ops.
Yeah, nice work there, especially from Freeze as well. We don't know him to be that close-range AWPer, but he steps up, misses a couple, but the shots are really counted. He nails them.
Back to Freeze. We go from a replay to live action, and the live action not worthy of a replay as he misses the shot, and they cross over to box at middle. Well, was nade a little bit early for Config's movement as he gets down toward the key cubby. Watch that position. Bounce flash toward Cinders will push Volda back again. They're going to get this ladder room. They've got to do something about this mid-control that Dignitas keeps trying to seize and take from them. This time they're going to wrap all the way around the cat. 1-for-1 trade needs just snappies in the site. That double op setup. One of them's gone. One of them's missed a shot to allow all this to transpire potentially, although it's hard to rule it down to just that. But it does leave Glaive in a position to try and pull one back. He's vulnerable though. Rubino wraps in the site. Madi is left in a 1 versus 2. He's got a kill in this already. Smoke off. Rubino's low. He's going to try and catch them off. Cajun's planning. He could actually try and find Rubino. Oh, looks the wrong way though. That's going to leave him.
They'll be back to the situation. No need to overcommit at this point. You're going to see them clearing out the initial aggression points of terrorist, working the B apartments, holding Palace, watching the top and middle MSL, watching the underpass. All good so far, not giving anything away. No one needs to commit. Just see if he can just keep pushing forward as a unit and then presumably attack towards A, considering their positions right now.
Smoke lands from the boxes, top of middle, and that will allow MSL to start pushing in toward the connector. UMP in hand as it's Glaive. He was actually, I think, exposed. And X-ray is always misleading for us, but it's just a fraction of his foot that was showing, so it's not necessary with the swinging mechanics that he would have saw him. Either way, it doesn't matter. MSL's got the kill on Madi. And the one on Glaive before that makes the A site a good buy on the real estate market. They got it for cheap. It was just 60 HP was all they had to give up. Who's to see above that smoke does mean, well, if that guy's that tall, wait a minute, there's got to be one in front of me. And MSL looks directly down and finds him too. That's just gone, yep. I would say just about 56 seconds. He does have bomb. They've actually rotated off the B site, you know.
They have. He is legging it to
Surely
the
they've got to rotate back at this point. Someone's got to go.
Someone will realize in about 5 seconds. Watch a mini-map. But he just can't believe his luck, and he's like, guys, you actually let me plan here.
There's nothing on radar. I mean, the good news is they'll be together on the retake. It's not like they can isolate the one-on-ones.
Get in the position, he gets 1 or 2 kills. That's enough. It's not a round win, but it's enough to take money away. And at this point, another reset potential, Matt. It's
this scares me. This is a very predictable.
I
know it works. It's great, but it is a predictable spot. He did have Glaive shooting at him. He manages to kill those. So, like you say, just to find 2, crossing back over. Freeze on the AWP. They tap the defuse. Ooh. There's the second kill. Config does very well, and I have to say, I don't know why the rotation didn't come in sooner from Heroic. I guess at this point, just get rounds, stick together, and they don't want to let them isolate, but it seemed a little obvious.
Having one, okay, that's fine, but you surely have one at kitchen, right? Just watching for the player coming in. You don't have to overcommit. You don't have to sit there and challenge him. You just watch him across.
I think the potential for that was that Valda did get up toward Horseshoe, and maybe they didn't think that he'd already crossed because Valda would have expected to hear him or see him going to the apartments, but he just beat him to that position.
Still, after those 2 kills, it actually makes things very interesting. Another round where they've got nothing left after the reinvestment. So he didn't win the round, sure, but he did enough to make this game a little bit more precarious going forward. Heroic now have a UMP. They have got the AWP in the hands of Fritz, but he's actually going to be working in towards that window area again. But it's the UMP stepping up, and Fritz from the window area. MSL runs wildly out of underpass. He gets taken down. I would say that's a huge risk that you didn't need to commit to, but still, he survives. And Glaive finds another with the UMP, apparently. Rubino, not sure what that play was, but running out by yourself a Palace for a smoke is never recommended.
Well, 5 versus 2, and finally Heroic starting to come to life. 7 rounds already given up. It's Mirage. It's 2016. 8-7's not the end of the world, but it's not amazing either, considering they're already at 7, and you've still got to get the 8 if it ends that way. Config, just a quick check into the corner and A-ramp. Just Boy is watching the jump over top of jungle while the AWP is going to try and find the angle, but look at Glaive's timing.
Hello.
Just wait. 1, 2. Thank you very much. Round is over.
Amazing. Well then, we did have a pause from Dignitas. Not picking up the AWP, definitely was room to buy one. And Snappy getting aggressive towards top of middle, using that smoke to his advantage, give him an opportunity to look towards the top of mid himself. Nothing really special coming to the table as of yet from Dignitas. After losing a couple of rounds in a row, Rubino back towards that Palace area. Occasion with the bomb by himself, actually going to be joined by Config now.
So Glaive's smart to anticipate the flash to go over that smoke to allow the cross, because most teams are duplicating that with, or adding that in tandem with the smoke now. Because if you can shoot underneath of that smoke with an AWP or the AK, if he's accurate enough, you cover off top middle, you kill them before they get to the boxes. So that quick little flash, he dodges it, but it does allow them to cross. However, he still gets the kill back into KJB. And another man advantage for Heroic after this early timeout from Dignitas. They took a gamble with this call. MSL, explosion out of top of the connector, and Glaive was not ready at all. I like this position from Modi. It's not one you get away with often, but if they rush in, specifically where they've already got connector and not seen anyone else, they'll check shadow maybe. With that smoke, he's going to bust through. Okay, he goes down ladder. That gives it away. If he had gone through the smoke and jumped into the site, Modi was free.
Modi's getting
clear,
away.
but he's still getting this. He's still finding kills. And MSL, he's locked into the site. Look at this. He's surrounded entirely. His teammate's gone down, and
Wow.
Modi's done it from that position. 2 kills.
Well then, it was the initial frag going in favor of Dignitas actually. We pointed out the position of Modi. It looks like one of those positions when you're in it, you feel like you're good for 1 kill. If you get detected and don't kill anyone, you're going down straight away. Nowhere to go once you're found out there. He gets the first kill. We saw Rubino smoke out from the palace area. You can see Modi adjusting his aim straight away. He knows that's a play to get down towards beneath shadow. Takes it down, finds a second as well, and this great maneuverability. We said his movement was great on Nuke, and once again managing to stay alive and just take the attention away from his teammates, and they come in to clear up. Aggressive from Glaive once again. Rapidly becoming one of my favorite players to watch actually, as he gets taken down. Unfortunately for him, it's Dignitas find 2.
I mean, early tenure in Fnatic. Nice shot from Modi again. And it was always said he was a very, very skilled player, but he was almost one of those players that was labeled as toxic early on, and a lot of people didn't want to play with him in Sweden. But now it's good to see him have a home with Danes, perhaps, as Free's going to take down Rubino. He'll burn immediately after, and Dignitas have a response. They're up to 8 rounds now on this T side. It took them 2 after the timeout, but again, they've kept these rounds so close. The money's not amazing on the CT side. This will be the last buy. If they lose here, they're broken. Snappy's got 76, and they've already got an AWP out. They won't go with 2. They have gone double up already in this game. They won't this time.
The double AWP setup was relatively successful for a round, I think, but then it went towards B, and Snappy couldn't hold them off. I think the best protocol right now is Freeze. He's having a decent game here on Mirage. Currently sat at the top of the scoreboard for the CTs with 10 kills. Goes in front of the smoke that's thrown towards short to take the vision away from window as well. He can actually catch players crossing over. The flashes will push him back. But just Boy, been quiet for the last couple of rounds, but Fritz given an opportunity there to land a shot. Oh, okay. Whatever that was, through the smoke, of course, and speculative shots, to say the least, but it does land.
Well, you miss every shot you don't take. Freeze takes a lovely one, and it's got a kill for them, so why not? It's going to slow down Dignitas again, who have won a round after losing 4. It's a reset potential. They want this catwalk. Finally, Snappy's going to win that duel. And they don't take ladder room as convincingly. They don't flash around the corner. They have a smoke there, and Snappy blinded both ways. MSL gets the kill, but it's traded by Volda. That leaves him outside of the van position, though, which means Magix is going to try and line it up. Volda goes back, and it's Freeze who hits the shot once more. Rubino versus the world.
Indeed. And it's a cruel world. There's 4 players waiting with guns to take him down, and he still hasn't got the bomb picked up. Freeze fire off every now and then. It's going to hit sometimes.
I think that every single player that plays the game and plays the spot commonly should
balance.
always know the spots. Like, there's ways, for example, if you're a young player that wants to learn a little more, there's always a smoke on that corner. If you go in connector, find somewhere you can preset your crosshair to and strafe over and just shoot. There's ways to do it as well with the Molotov coming out of Palace that goes down to Shadow, but Volda is finally getting a chance to shine inside of B. He only shines good enough for 1 before Cajun B hits him with a lovely deagle shot. No smoke, those. So KGB has one, but they don't elect to put it inside of the site for the fast plant. And he's not going to put it out now. He's going to save it for post if they get that far. And they will. Freeze goes down. Now he's got a chance to use it, but where is he going to? It's going to be the flank rotation coming through the apartments. And is KGB aware that he's even picked up that smoke? Because he's certainly holding on to it a little bit longer here. You would have thought he would have put it out to hold the CTs off by now.
Big round here for Dignitas. Didn't invest much into it, but a chance in the 2-on-2. The CT's coming in. The pincer maneuver from Short and Kitchen. It's Glaive who's going to be found first by Rubino. If he can land a Deagle headshot, there's a real chance by Modi. He gets the headshot. Glaive chiming in as well, working together as a unit, fighting for the defuse, but it's going to be Glaive that picks it up, smiling as he does it.
I didn't catch.
There's be one player towards the top of mid. That's MSL. He'll be coming in for the backstab or potentially just holding off rotations. He does a lot of damage towards Frisk in the connector. Okay, that actually helps out Cajun get that shot.
Well, yeah, double cross. It nearly cost them, but it is Cajun to pull back 2. Modi, the second one, he's been large and in charge inside of that A site. Glaive wants to push back in. No smoke at bench, but it is the mid-site smoke. It's not the wall of China. You don't have the bench smoke, which, by the way, to clarify, the Tyloo smokes are a different version of what people were saying was the Kaboom smokes. They don't smoke triple, they smoke bench, but doesn't matter. They get concealed within the mid-site that time. Cajun's on 2, and Magisk is on 9. And Snappy, he's taking config to 0, so there's actually more HP between the 2 players remaining on CT than there are on the 3 of Dignitas, but they can set up angles, they can set up crossfires, and they can hold vENdetta off this bomb. He spotted one towards Tetris. Surely, they're both there. That's dangerous considering how low they are on HP, but it's KGB with the high ground. And here's Snappy looking for his teammate. Speaking of, we're back into what will be our last half of the evening, and one of these 2 teams' last half of the tournament. It's 4 sets of armor and MSL on a kit. Meanwhile, it's the same as basically what Dignitas did on their pistol round. It's 3 armors and 2 utility players. Molotov left over for vENdetta. That could be used in the post plant. They've got 5 versus 5 and a bomb down. Watch the flank, but 2 going back toward A main. No, this won't be easy for config. Glaive, they're going to hold him out. Double peek. Freeze goes down in the air, and Glaive's unable to follow it up. Now he will.
Solid work from Glaive, but he's out of, not of the woods just yet. The CT's coming in thick and fast. A bomb is going to be smoked as well. Glaive finds a headshot, and it's just kills all over the place. And there it is, Modi. Once again, losing their lead. Similar scene to what we saw on Nuke, to be fair. And they probably will turn out to be 9-9. They're not actually force buy in the second. They want to make sure they have everything they need in that first gun round.
So Glaive now will get down toward the bottom of middle. He's got that AK. He's threatening config with it. He's heroic, can bring this to 9s. And Glaive through the wooden wicket window. It's going to be a shot into the head of config and to Cajun B. He won't get there in time to do anything of it with the CZ-79. CZ-75. Why not? We'll give it the 4 extra. It's improved slightly.
Sadika's edition.
Yeah, probably miss every shot if it's my edition. Magic's going to fall down inside of the site. Teagle doesn't find one from him, but it does from MSL. They've got a lineup on this Dignitas. They're walking in. They've not cleared off angles, and Modi, he's going to have to be a hero once more. They've got it back down to a 2 versus 2. They've still got the weapons. There's no kits, and now they've got the man advantage. They may just get away with this, but not without spending some cash in the process. Modi's going to go for the plant, low HP, but he's got a round. Modi's both low. The Deagle, all it needs to do is hit the shots, but he's got to reload. Oh, that's so unfortunate, and Modi saves the day, but a little bit of luck to help him do so.
4 HP. Again, as we get into the next round, that first gun will be very important. CT, though, good news is they didn't force into that second round. Managed to find some kills as well. At least they'll have a stronger buy than what Heroic brought to the table.
Yeah, it's potential force such an occurrence is freeze. No gap in that smoke is going to converge with Snappy on a hard left turn up toward the A site where MSL does do decent damage to start things off. Snappy's down to 17 on that, and he's going to line up onto freeze. Watch this position as well from config. He's starting to second guess it, but it's Cajun B laid out from that window. They never check it in. The P250 config, that was fairly close and almost mischievous in the fact that it looked like it would line up, but Modi is having a heck of a game as they change their plans back over to the B site. Cajun B, he's rotated back from this window, but he'll die inside of the site to the hands of vENdetta, and he's slowly walking around to get a second kill on Magisk. MSL, though, the low HP picked up. It's a 1 versus 2. He's got an AK, no armor. Watch aim punch, which is a definite. Mid's been the name of the game so far for both teams, really.
Absolutely. Both these teams were very similar play styles, coming from the same regions, playing against each other a lot. You can see them sharing a lot of same tendencies.
There was a time when SK was the farm team to Dignitas, he was the farm team to Astralis, and now they all seem so close together. They'll grow together, and, well, it levels out the playing field across the board for all of Europe in that sense. Freeze deep inside the site, but it's Config who finds him back, and he was threatening to hold off Cajun B from walking back toward the site. Now, however, it's going to be Snappy to put down the bomb with 22 seconds. Cajun's late on the peak, gets there now, but Snappy he'll get around the corner first, and Config wants to peek back out. He's so low on HP. Maudi's got Magisk Boy. Down goes Config, and the round that Dignitas looked like they had control of, Cajun's going to have to pull back. We'll see if the rate fix is going to give him better chances as he spots Maudi toward Tetris. Fine. Rubino with his back turned, indicating a flash coming. His teammate's already in there. Config's already got the kill on vENdetta, so he's just waiting for Maudi to push through. Dignitas starting off well with these pistols, have an AK to work with, but they have to confront the man we said is red hot. Speaking of hot, it's Flames toward the apartment. Config fights forward of them, and he's got Maudi down, so very well done from Config. The two best players, as they just highlighted, with some notions of motions early in this round. It's Snappy to pull back onto Cajun, though, and that will start to favor Heroic.
It will, and Dignitas have made a pretty good go of all of these eco rounds themselves. It comes down to number 3 and 2. Yeah, every single one's coming down to like 2-on-1s, and they're getting it down to very close and tight situations. Not been comfortable for Heroic. They're not able to farm catch, and once again, Magisk Boy, hell of a shot there with the Desert Eagle, takes down Fritz, and now it is a 2-on-2, a chance for them to try once again.
Oh, this has slowed them down, though. And you think this is so clever from Config? He's gone underpass. He's going to walk up, and they're actually waiting. 2 AK Snappy peeks out. Shot down, AK gone. Now the question is, where's the rotation go from here? Is it going to go back to the A site or not? Because Magisk Boy's let off of the B site. He's still only limited to that Deagle. If he can beat them to the A site, there are guns down. But he anticipates that with that kill, they'll surely go B, and they're not. So, as you say, I mean, that's a very good point. And it's not as fast-paced as what we saw in the French game, but it's strategic, and some of these rounds are closer than what we saw in the French game, in the fact that as soon as Dignitas win one here, we're going to have a broken economy on their Heroic side.
Magisk Boy, a chance to spam the Deagle for the smoke and try and deny the plant. Doesn't go for it. Trying to go for the stealth option here, as he is flashed out, but
no
still
kit.
A low chance of doing something with this round. Very low chance.
Glaive tries to bait him either way. Snappy's in shadow. Now he's spotted.
And it's definitely going to be an interesting affair considering they're knocked out. It's one of these boys going through. Guaranteed to have a Danish team in the semis.
Glaive around the corner at top mid does hit MSL with a quick, convincing shot. Missed throw from Maudi on that flash. The Flames in front, he won't be able to get around the corner. Config will take back Connector as a result of all of this. Without that presence on the A site, they're rotating back over, though, and he's going to push up the top of middle, which means it's just going to be Rubino right now inside of the A site.
Yeah, and he's been having a poor game so far. This series has been quiet for him overall. Up against a 5-man attack from Heroic. I'm not sure he's the man to hold them off. He's got one flashbang, an M4 to do it. His teammates are pretty far removed from this situation. No AWP to rotate into him. What can he do?
I would love to see him play reverse firebox right now, but he wants to get aggressive and hold them for the rotations. Maudi, he's got Flames all around him. He can't push through on this, so Rubino does well to get one, and that's going to allow these rotations, but the smokes are out through it. Cajun B does good damage. It's Glaive and vENdetta. They've got less HP combined than the 3 left, and look at Config's timing. We said he was pushing up middle. He gets 2 immediately before getting canceled out by Maudi, who's now gone down to Magisk. Dignitas finally get over the hurdle and pick up a round and a half, and as I mentioned, the Morse into this with, well, they would have a little bit more to work with.
Config, the hero of that round. It looked pretty bleak at one point. Rubino there by himself was managing to get 1 kill, and his teammates rotating and spraying through the smoke as Cajun B, the headshots too, I think, and Config from T-Spawn times it to perfection as well. There was so much chaos going on the A-bomb site. He's able to come in and clear up from the back and give Dignitas another lifeline here, and it's going to be a full eco, like he said. Maudi with the P250. Dignitas now a chance to get back into this. I'm pretty sure we're going to see 11-11. Magisk can smell the terrace on the other side. A 5-man spray down, definitely possible.
It just needs to run because he's got the flash drawn. He needs to get behind this little broken wall at the bench into the jail cell. Thankfully, MSL is more than willing to protect him, but a bomb plant out of that is pretty good from Heroic.
Considering they just had Glocks and a P250, that's not bad.
As you say, though, that was Dignitas' way. Guess what, Henry? It's 11-11. We always arrive
We finally got it.
Well, you say finally. We had it a few times this week, to be
Have
fair.
we?
We've had it quite a few. We always do. But the one round, and it breaks the economy. So the bomb down is going to get them more guns back out on this T side a little bit sooner. But for Dignitas, is that all they needed was just that little bit? And, I mean, keeping every round close, you have to give them credit in that regard.
Well, once again, these Danish derbies, and I guess the nation derbies as a whole, do provide very close games. Dignitas getting into the second half now, and aggressive. They were being assertive this time. Window He's going to bring it into a 5-on-3. Val knows he's got a lot of work to do here. Going to be trying to get his way towards connector, scout out and see what's available for himself. At this point, though, Dignitas don't need to commit whatsoever. They've done the hard work now.
And that's very good situational awareness from KGB. That doesn't need to be communicated. 2 players up mid. The only place after they get that first kill they're going to be vulnerable from is underpass. So he just sits in window, watches it, jumps out, gets his second kill from Snappy, who thinks there's a hint of a chance, a scent of it in the air that he might be able to pull those kills back, and he gets punished for doing so. They have still managed to get up onto Catwalk toward this ladder room, though, and we know exactly what Dignitas was able to exploit with this in the first half, but usually when they got here, they still had the numbers advantage to work with.
Huge opportunity here for Dignitas to take the lead once more. Been a rough second half, but 2 rounds in a row, and this advantage as well. They've been adjusting their playstyle, their aggressive stance. You could see Heroic weren't expecting it. They don't have the orb to try and get themselves back into this. So Glaive boosted up towards short, does spot Magistboy, but a perfectly placed Incendiary doesn't work out for him, so he faces after it. I thought that was a waste time, but Glaive stepping up once again, finds 2 shots to the B site, and all of a sudden it's squared out again as we're out of a great position and a fantastic shot, half blind as well.
They've just snapped this back. 5 versus 3, and Dignitas concede that mid control. They get toward the B site, and Cajun B's got a lot of work to do. He's waiting as well for his teammate Rubino to get in position on the catwalk. That should expose Volda, and it will. He's going to shuffle over into Cajun's crosshair. Now Rubino just needs to stay alive to give him a chance for Cajun to find where Madi's gone, but a lovely placed bullet again. Rubino will find Glaive. It's a one-on-one. They know where each other are. It's a heads-up match. There's a kit for Rubino, but there's a...
He gets a first shot. That's the entry he needs, and finds another towards the kitchen. It was... sorry, it was Glaive that did that. It was Vald who found the shot towards kitchen, but still... MSL just didn't have the face. There's such a huge advantage. They throw it away, make them commit towards the bomb sites before you're given the opportunities.
And Magisk now as well back toward this B site. Dignitas, they've got 1 more buy left in them after all these close rounds. So too with Heroic, to be fair.
Yeah.
Here comes the economy game. It always is. When we hit the 11-11 scoreline, usually it entails we're close in money as well.
True. Dignitas got 2 rounds in a row. They have been reset at this point. They have 1 buy left, but it's weak. 5 M4s, 1 kit. A couple of smokes remaining, some flashbangs, no orbs. 1 incendiary. This will be a potential double eco situation for them if they lose this round. So a turbulent time for Dignitas, who just lost the lead. Someone needs to be stepping up here. Nothing really gathered as of yet. MSL's towards short, but his teammate Cajun B has gone down. Freeze once again finds the opening kill here on Mirage.
Just watch Cajun get wrecked from a third party, an innocent bystander's perspective. As now they've got Snappy on 15 short, but Glaive up toward jungle. They've got map control to work with, but they've got a lineup for Rubino. He's got 2 back. He finally falls to Madi, who seems to always be Johnny on the spot. It's a 2 versus 2, mind you, and it's going to be Magistboy that's going to try and cover this off. Madi wants to get to the default triple box. That gives spray potential to, even better, it gives Molotov potential, and Madi's got to get away. He's got 27 HP. It's going to leave him in the open, but again, he hits a nice shot. He's got 5 HP. And MSL doesn't know that he's crossed back the triple. Bomb's going to go down. MSL's got 100 HP in this, but somehow you still think Madi's got a chance. Crosshair placement directly toward the first position he would show himself from, but 5 HP and in the open, MSL does manage to pull it back. We're going 12-12.
Game in terms of the economy. So another eco. Historically on this map, it's going to be interesting to see whether they can get the plant down once again. To be fair, they haven't invested much at all. Just a Tech 9, a PT-50 and 3 Glocks. So pretty redundant round. And once again, Dignitas will take the lead. Overtime, written all over this map. I'm going to call it now.
It certainly feels it. Imagine that. We get the Danish Derby. We get all 3 maps, and then we've got an overtime potential. Rubino doesn't want it to go that far, nor to Cajun B or Config, for that matter, who continues to have a good
5 AKs, no orbs available on either side. This goes to show how close it is. No one can get those big weapons out. It's going to be the CTs with Famas and the aggressive stance once again. Config spots through towards top and middle. It's a UMP backing him up.
That window, and certainly was.
Well, all the utilities still intact for Heroic. 4 smokes, a Molotov, and flashbangs as well. It's not ideal, but certainly enough to play with to do the simple executions, which they've been showing to do towards B. This could be perfect. Gets flashed in, gets 1, looking for the second. This could be it. Config with an amazing performance in MSL. He helps him out as well with the rotations, but he's not done just quite yet. That's going to do it. Config, 3 headshots with the AK-47. Modi, 4 versus 1, bomb down. This is it, unless he can find some sort of unbelievable form. Config wanting to win it by himself, flashed in by his teammate, and that's going to be it.
That's lovely. And Madi, you say unbelievable form. He's had that, but this is a whole other level as he spots 1 at window. He's not willing to go gentle into this good night. He's got to try and push it. He's got to do everything he can. You can see the contemplation. He looks depressed almost about it, but he'll
Get
still
ready for
push as
it.
much as he can into the connector. No one watching from Catwalk. He actually could isolate Cajun in this play, but Cajun's got the jump, and there it is. You said Rubino would explode. Dignitas have the series and the semifinal. They were the sleeper Danish team in this.
Absolutely.
Quietly worked into this. 16-3, they got destroyed by GODSENT, and they've come alive throughout the course of this week. And they will be the top placed Danish team. And a team effort indeed.